Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your April 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. They are a scammer. Do not be scammed. I will not be soliciting you for anything. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Taurus, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. I just want to say, before I connect more, that if you're looking for a deck that is super thick and really quite beautiful, this is the back, definitely check these out. I forget the name of them, but I'm really impressed with the cardstock. Taurus, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides fantastic. All right, let's see the chakra energy for this time. Taurus, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. Just that one. The spirit guide message for this time. How will Taurus be affected by the April 2021 full moon? No. How will Taurus, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Awesome. And then finally, the energy we are to be mindful of during this time. What energy is Taurus supposed to be mindful of? April 1st to the 15th, 2021. Taurus. What energy is Taurus supposed to be mindful of? April 1st to the 15th, 2021. Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. These two. Fantastic. Now the left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we're going to see how everything correlates together. We have here the Three of Pentacles. Oh, I like that. We have the Empress coming in, so we have the repeat of the number 3, which means that divinity is watching over us. We have the King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you're born on the cusp with Aries, your Aries sign is coming through, or side is coming through quite powerfully. And then we have the Ace of Wands, so we're definitely taking this gift of passion and of creativity. We have the Queen of Pentacles, so we're crowning our hearts. We have the Strength card, so Leo energy. Time frame is July 23rd to August 22nd. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Emperor, which amplifies Aries energy. We have the Three of Wands. Then we have 3 threes, so divinity is really quite with us. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And we have the Eight of Cups. Now, with the repeat of the number 8 in the public arena, we can take things way too seriously. Overthink it, overanalyze it, want everything to be just so, can be very rigid and very regimented. So we just need to be mindful of this during this time. Let's look at our chakra energy. We have self-mastery, which is the solar plexus chakra. So we are going to be tried in different ways during this time, and we can see it, coming through definitely with the Eight of Swords. We have the Seven of Wands, and even the Three of Pentacles. We're going to be tested, and there is this beauty because we have the Emperor and the Empress, which is the King and Queen of the major arcana. So there's this soulmate connection, this true love connection, this power, this brilliance, this beauty that comes forward during this time. But because we're tested, we can almost not see it, because it's like anything good that's happening to us during this time will be like, oh, okay, that's great. But everything bad will be like, I have to fix that right away. I have to, conquer that. I have to make things better. With self-mastery, with the sense of really listening to our solar plexus chakra, we're going to start to really listen to our gut, which, some people argue good thing, bad thing. I view it very much as a good thing, because we start to become in tune to ourselves, to our bodies, to what we need, to what we desire, to what we're looking for. And so with the solar plexus chakra coming forward and our self-mastery coming forward, we're starting to see things more in line with who we are, with what we want. Things that were chaotic are starting to not necessarily fall away, but we're starting to see that the importance of them isn't quite as severe as we thought it was. So there is the sense of really looking at the self more and saying, I need to be in alignment with what I want, with what I desire, with where I need to be. I need to master the things that have held me back, that have silenced me, that have kept me overwhelmed. And it leads us to our spirit guide message, which is divinity. And it's always such a brilliant thing to connect with divinity. And that's what these readings are always for, to connect with divinity, to say that there's more to our world than what we even realize. And there's a sense here of connecting with a higher power and also a higher inspiration than we had seen before. Now, the energy we are to be mindful of, the King of Swords and the Princess of Cups. The King of Swords is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But because we're talking here about energies, it's not saying, oh, avoid all air sign energies. It's saying try to avoid, or be mindful of all people who use words as weapons and who try and shift the very foundation of words to either be weaponized or to be seen as weapons. It's going to be a sense here of, well, how do I express myself if I cannot embrace my words? How can I truly embrace my understanding, if I'm not allowed to stumble and fall and maybe say things wrong, and if I'm not going to be attacked all the time. This is going to be a person who is very regimented, who has to be in control of things, who is going to say, well, did you mean this? Did you mean that? They're really going to want to kind of pin us down to our words, to what it is that we really meant, and they could be saying this in a very kind of loving way. It'll appear to be very caring. Well, I just want to make sure I got it right. But what they're going to do is they're going to try and trap us in some sort of way that says, well, I just want to make sure I got it right because I'm going to use this as a weapon against you later. Now, this could be at work. This could be dealing with a narcissist, which they do this all the time. This is just a sense of looking at things and having to say, listen, I have to be very mindful of how I interact with you. I have to be very mindful. And during this time, if we're just mindful with how we're interacting with everybody, that could really ease a burden off our shoulders, because it's like, okay, I just have to embrace what I'm saying, embrace discovery, and not let this be used against me in one way or another. We can see this when dealing with teenagers, oh, you said this and you're always, whatever, they go off, or with dealing with partners. But I see this very much as dealing with either a partner who kind of rules the house like it's a business and sits there in their power and says, it has to be like this, it has to be like that, wants everything to be absolutely controlled down to the very last bit. But also in business, this is going to be in work. This is going to be the person who they could just be having a really bad time, and their way of dealing with it is to really be on the attack with words. So just really be mindful. That's coming through so powerfully that we're going to be kind of cornered in one way or another, and just to know it, just to say, what, this is something I don't want to engage in, or this isn't being seen the way I want it to be seen, and I'm not sure how to rectify this situation. So kind of stepping back and saying, no, I'm not engaging, is going to be really important. The Princess of Cups, on the other hand, we have this person who's fighting with words. Now we have this person who's emotionally manipulative with emotions. They're not going to be as in-depth at it as the king is, because the king is the ruler and the king has had so much more experience. The princess is going to act like a princess, is going to act entitled, is going to act pampered and self-indulged. And there is going to be the sense here of, well, I'm entitled to this. I get to have it. And I get to have my emotions bleed all over the place and not care who it hurts and not care why it hurts them. And this is a person who they may genuinely be going through things, and it might be genuinely very, very hard. But there is a sense here of very much saying, okay, you know what? We have to compartmentalize, and we have to not let everything become chaotic and get pulled into it, because we're going to want to fix it. The princess has a very real way of coming across as this beautiful damsel in distress, and it can be, it can be a guy too, where it's just, they come across as, oh my gosh, I need to protect them. And what it's really going to be is they want to emotionally manipulate you and also drain your energy. So do be aware. We start off with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is prosperity and success. And everybody holds their peace. I love this depiction of it. Everybody holds their piece of prosperity. And we're seeing here that in order for us to really move forward in the prosperity that we want, we have to embrace working with others. And we have to embrace that other people have added to our success. I love to say, we don't come out fully formed from the head of Zeus like Athena does. We don't just sprout out fully made. People take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's actually astounding how much time and effort and work it takes to have a person grow and be productive and be, a powerful individual. And so here it's really realizing that we've worked and collaborated with people for our whole entire lives. And it's paying homage and honor to that. And it's also embracing our own prosperity, our own ideas of success, our own determinations forward. But it's also not forgetting that we had a part to play in it, that we were a valuable player. And saying, not that I'm worthless or, oh my gosh, I couldn't do this without anybody else. But it's like, I'm a valuable player in this grand scheme. And what I've been working towards doesn't get to be taken away from me and said, oh, well, I did this. And, other people claiming the success. But it's really embracing the success of the individual and the way that it it plays off of and is inspired by others. It illuminates our world in a very beautiful way. It's like this is the light that shines down on us. It's the light that we've worked so hard for. It's the light that we have been so determined with. And it's the light that starts to really inspire us and guide our path in different ways, but letting us know that we're always going to be creating it with other people, helping along the way or giving us different insights, different ideas. And it embraces here the Empress. And the Empress is always, well, usually depicted as pregnant, and she's depicted as pregnant here. And what is very interesting about this is I really see the Empress as us claiming a part of ourselves that we have lost. But we're pregnant with ideas and possibilities. There's a way to birth this forward into the world. That doesn't mean that you have to be female or you have to be, wanting children. What it means is that we are looking at things in a way that says, I have the power to bring something beautiful, unique, and highly nurturing into the world. I need to nurture it, but it also brings me the sense of joy, the sense of beauty, the sense of things being aligned and right. The Empress with the Emperor, she is the giving, caring, compassionate nature, and he is the fact that this is my right. This is what I claim, and this is where I sit, and this is what I stand for, and this is what I desire. And the Empress is letting things develop and letting things be, but it is no less forceful with saying, I have every right to embrace my prosperity, my success, to claim my throne. And so the power couple here is this beautiful understanding of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine aspects of the individual self, of what we desire within relationships that push and that pull, that nurture and that strengthening, and that sense of there is more to me than what I realized, and there is greater power to what I want in life than at times I think I'm capable of. There is a sense here of underselling, and there is going to be this power that says, I'm not underselling myself anymore. I'm not corroding everything that I've worked so hard for. I get to claim this. There is power to my voice. There is power to my purpose. There is power to what I'm seeing. There's power to me. And I'm embracing that fully, compassionately, but with severe determination. And it leads us to the King of Wands. It leads us to passion. It leads us to creativity. It leads us to not being afraid to get our hands dirty and saying, this is what needs to be done. And this is what I desire. We're also going to have, I love the cat here, this sense of independence, but also the sense of love, the sense of, I come and really nurture things when I feel like it's time. It's like that cat's, sense of on my time type of thing. And it's not going to be in a bad way, but we can see this from people who are going to be inspiring us during this time. I'm going to help inspire you. I'm going to help, build you up, but it's going to be on my time. And so we might find ourselves very drawn to people. And because we're collaborating, and collaboration is going to be such a big part of us for our inward self, and because we have so many ideas that we want to birth forward, to have somebody say, but on my time, it can feel rather wounding, but it's also going to give us time to meditate, to contemplate, to gain a greater understanding, to look at things in a more truthful, more honest, more decisive way, and look at what is inspiring us, what is helping us to move forward, what is, that fire that is such an important part of who we are, and how that fire goes out, as we become overwhelmed, as life, piles on responsibilities. The King of Wands is saying, this is my passion. This is what I desire. This is what I want. This is what I look for. And this gets to be the torch that lights my way. And we see us rooted in this torch, in this sense of inspiration, in this sense of understanding. God, Source, Spirit, however we see the divine, the universe, is handing us this gift of knowledge, is handing us this gift of passion, of looking at things outside of the box and saying, I have this within me. How can I bring it forward? I know I'm going to have to work with others, but first I have to connect with me. And that's even the sense of us being a little cat-like at this time. I have to connect with me. I have to step back and say, when I'm ready, I'll step forward. When I'm ready, I'll show, the world what I have. We can't look at perfection, though, during this time, which can be very easy for us to fall into the perfection mind space, especially since we have the repeat of the number 8 in the public arena. We just want everything to be right. We just want everything to be perfect. And if we work harder, and if we put more time in, and if we push ourselves more, we'll be able to get there. Don't be so hard on yourself that you take away the joy. That's going to be something that we really need to focus on. Don't be so determined to get it just right that we can't see that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be just right. It can be okay. And we can have people help us, give us ideas, and not take them personally, which can be very, very hard, to not take people's criticisms or people's critiques personally, but to look at it and say, okay, well, that makes sense to me. That doesn't. I'm going to implement that now. I'll think about that later. You've planted the seed within my head, and it starts to really help us shine our light. But also, okay, if we let too many people in, we're only working with 3 people here at this time. If we let too many people in, it can actually douse the fire, because everybody will be coming at us with different ideas, different ways of doing things, different insights. One person will like it this way, the other person will like it that way, and our passion can go out really easily because we're building it. We are accepting it quite powerfully, but we're still building it. And we don't want to have that big wind just gust it out and say, well, it was all rubbish to begin with, because it isn't. There's this beauty that is going to be illuminating our way, and we're going to see it in a sense. And it's very much like, oh goodness, I just make a mess of things. Like this card here, you see the light around her. Okay, so there's this illumination around her that it's like, ooh, inspired. Ooh, divinity's with me. And that's going to be this time for us. It's like, oh, that's inspiring. Oh, divinity is with me this way. Oh, that's what I was supposed to be seeing. That's how I was supposed to be moving forward. And it leads us to the Queen of Pentacles. During this time, we're going to be a queen. Now, for our hearts, it's very interesting because we're crowned by a queen. We're rooted by an emperor. Here within our inner self, we have kind of like the heart of the matter of our inner selves, we have the emperor and the king. So we have this duality of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine really making itself known. In our inner selves, the feminine is going to be taking over, well, the quote-unquote feminine. Okay, so we're going to be looking at things in a way of nurturing, in a way of building. The king is going to want to come and be center stage. I always see the kings as the actors upon the stage and the queens as the directors behind the scenes. The king is going to want to come and say, this is my passion, this is what I desire, but we're going to have this balancing energy of, well, I have to let it grow within me. I have to nurture it. I have to, see things a different way, look at things from all angles. We can't let the fire go out during that time, though. And with the emperor rooted and the queen crowning, we're going to look at things and say, well, I need to see it. I need to look at what it is that I desire. I need to look at the scenes differently. I need to see how everything's interacting together. And that's going to help me build my prosperity, my success, my bounty that lasts for generations, that helps to inspire me, that helps me move forward, that helps me nurture what's absolutely intrinsically important to me as an individual. The Queen of Pentacles is looking at the bounty that is a part of us. And it's such an intrinsic part of who we are. We love the connection with the earth, Taurus. The connection with the earth, the connection with what we desire, the planting of the seeds, the nurturing it, the watching it grow, the watching it become. There's something here very much linked, and we can see it, to the Empress that is saying, I need to nurture this. I need to bring this forward. I need to make sure that as I bring it forward, it is safe and secure. We can become overprotected because we also have this linked to the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is doubts and fears and getting into our own mind way too much. But the Queen of Pentacles is saying, let prosperity be a part of who it is that we are. Within our hearts, we need to know that we are worthy of wealth, of abundance, of things actually working in our favor, of not having to analyze and analyze and analyze. And it brings us then to strength. The strength, Leo, right here, the Leo energy, but the strength is connecting us with this lion mentality, in this leonine mentality of saying, this is what I want, this is my determination, this is what I'm moving towards. And we can feel our hearts really roaring at us. There's power to it, there's determination to it, there's insight, there's ideas, there's a sense of more than what we had anticipated. The strength energy is saying our strength comes, yes, from declaring our intentions, yes, from aligning things to say, this is what I want, this is what I desire, because we have we have the 8 repeated 3 times. And when 8 is repeated 3 times, divinity is saying, yes, pay attention to details. Yes, strive for the best, but don't get caught up in saying it has to be perfect before it can move forward. There is this sense of strength through compassion. And that's what we have to know within our hearts. It's like, I don't have to be a bodybuilder. I don't have to have the biggest muscles. I need to have the strongest heart. And our heart has been tested time and time again. That's actually part of what we are nourishing within the seeds that we are planting, within the prosperity that is coming forward, within the bounty that we want, within the interconnectedness of what we are seeing, how things align, how things come together. The Strength card gives us this sense of, I need to focus, I need to understand, I need to look at things, but I also can't control. Things are going to be out of my control, but through compassion, through love, through humility, through a sense of obligation and duty, there becomes so much more to this than what I realized. And it moves us as we embrace our strength of kindness and compassion, but also our strength of determination and focus and saying, I matter. I don't get to be a doormat for everybody just to walk upon. It leads us to the 7 of Wands. It leads us to choosing our battles really, really, really carefully, because the 7 of Wands is saying here that I'm going to want to fight every battle. Our heart just is. Within us, there is this sense of, I'm tired of being taken advantage of. I'm tired of being used and abused. I'm tired of people just thinking that they can pile more and more upon my shoulders. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight, and people are going to see what it is that I'm talking about. People are going to understand, finally. And the energy here can be very overwhelming, because what we're being told is, yeah, you can fight every single battle. You can declare everything and kind of like wage war on the world. That's one way of living. It's an exhausting way of living, and it drains the heart far faster than it does anything else. It makes us feel run down and used and a little bit broken, or a lot of bit broken. The 7 of Wands is saying, choose the battles wisely, because then when we fight, people aren't like, oh, well, Taurus is just being a hothead like usual. They're going to be like, oh, wow, Taurus is usually so calm and collected and really focused on these things, like focused on harmonizing and getting things right and peaceful. So if they're fighting about it, it must mean something big, because it is going to mean something big. And so our hearts here are saying, you're going to want to fight every battle. We're going to want to rage against every injustice, but people will stop listening. It's fighting when it's important. It's, knowing what we desire and saying, okay, this is what I stand for. This is what I want. This is what I need. And when it goes against me, I need to step back. People will take notice then. Instead of, it's kind of like that yippy little dog that always is yipping. People you just ignore it, or you get annoyed by it. Here, it's being that fierce watchdog that says, I'll bark when things are needed, when you need to pay attention. And that's what we're doing here. And it leads us to the Emperor. It leads us to being able to claim a throne that is extraordinary, to say, I get to rule my life because I know what I'm doing. And I'm not caught up in everybody else's trauma. The world wants us to be caught up in one trauma after the other, so that we're worn out, so that we feel stressed and overwhelmed. But if we save our attention for really utilizing our voice when it matters, when it's forceful, that makes us the emperor of the situation. That makes us the ruler of what we desire. And that's what's rooting our hearts here. It's like, I'm claiming my throne because nobody gets to rule over me. I know my passion. I know what I want. I'm embracing things with severe determination. We can also be looking at things here, and it's very interesting. There's healing around, for those who need it, around a father-like presence. Okay? It can very well be a father or somebody who was a mentor or father-like to us. And there's a sense of a healing of hurts, pains, and disappointments. It doesn't mean I forgive you and I want to have a relationship with you, especially if the relationship with the masculine influence in the life in your life wasn't necessarily good. It doesn't mean like I have to extend an olive branch, but it means that things are becoming clearer, and we're starting to see our passion and our healing say that this person doesn't get to dictate over us, which is really quite cool because an emperor would try to have power over a hierophant. So just think of the power hierarchy. The emperor is used to being in control. This could also be a person who's just used to being in control. You have insteps in the hierophant. Now the hierophant is representative of the Pope. The Pope was the only person who could tell an emperor what to do in medieval times. So here you have the essence of a Taurian being astoundingly powerful, the most powerful, one could argue. And so during this time, when people were trying to say, this is the way that you should do it, this is exactly how it should be, we're going to see a power shift here of claiming back the voice, claiming back the power, especially if an abusive relationship was had or if somebody was tyrannical when we were younger, okay? A caregiver was tyrannical. We're going to see ourselves looking at that and things start to shift. Eyes start to open. We start to claim back our power. That's going to be really quite cool. It leads us to the public arena. It's all going to be emotional. It's like the heart is freed in a really beautiful, beautiful way. And it opens up the world. I mean, it does. We now have 3 threes. So, and I think Spirit stated this before, where we are looking at things and we are saying, this is what I love. This is what I desire. This is what I need. Divinity is guiding me. The 3 of Wands is embracing the unknown, is saying it's my time to move forward. I don't have to be held back. I don't have to be kept silent. I'm moving forward. My ships are coming in. I'm seeing things. Things are connecting in ways that they hadn't before. And my ships are going out. I'm saying I can take a risk. I can go after what I want without thinking, I can't. I need everybody else around me. We're going to see that we were a valuable player. And though it is important to have people around us backing us, it is not going to be the only thing that we need. We also need to take a kind of risk on ourselves of embracing our hearts and what we desire, our passions and what we need. The first step is hard, and so is the second and the third. And at times I wonder if it gets easier. But it does, because confidence builds and because we learn to pick our battles wisely. And so here we're going out into the unknown in the public arena. And as we go out into the unknown, the thing that smacks us right between the eyes is the sense that I can't. The 8 of Swords is I'm overthinking, I'm overanalyzing, I'm way too much in my own head, and I can't. I can't do this. 1.5 million bad things will happen. This is worry starting to really rear its ugly head. And this can cripple us in a very real way. And we can live our whole lives in the 8 of Swords, in it being too scary to free ourselves from the cage of our own minds. But the cage opens. We're blindfolded, so we're not seeing the world as it is. We're only seeing what we perceive, what's in our own mind. And that's where we have to kind of step back and say, I need to take this chance. I need to take this leap. The thing with having 3 8s here is like, this is going to be one of the things that is so hard for us to overcome. It's not speaking kind of a curse over us, but it's really saying this is difficult. It's difficult to get out of our own minds. It's difficult to look at things and say, okay, I might not know what I'm doing, but I'm still going to be moving forward, because forward is better than standing still, is better than stagnation. And as we do this, as we get out of our own heads, as we embrace being brave and we push ourselves out of our comfort zone, there are times when the hurts and the pains and the disappointments are going to pile up on us and say, you can't do this. You can't move forward this way. And those are the times where we're starting to break free. All right, it's going to be like, I have to pull you back. I have to lower your energy vibration. You can't. And the fact of the matter is that you absolutely, positively can. And what's more important is you need to. You need to keep on moving forward in the power that is you. Because we have the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles, and now the Queen of Cups. There's this sacred feminine energy around us. There's a sense of standing back, of being the observer, of seeing how everything connects and interplays, and telling the Emperor and the King, okay, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to look at it. This is what's desired. And it's looking back and really connecting with our hearts. In the public arena, to bring our heart into it, we might think, oh my gosh, that's way too vulnerable. But it's going to be actually really powerful because we're bringing our hearts into the situation and saying emotion counts. What I feel counts. But what's more important here is that I get to look at things and say that there is beauty in what I desire. There is a way to move forward to what I truly want and what I truly need. And I have to rule me. So during this time, we can take that ruling ourselves a little bit to the extreme and say, okay, I have to be in rigid, constant control. But what Spirit is saying here is, yes, we have to rule the self. Yes, we have to embrace the ideologies of who we are, because we cannot rule anybody else. We have to look at what we want, and we have to look at what we need, and we have to start living in a way that embraces our confidence, our success, our insights, our ideas, and realizing with the Queen of Cups, and what the Queen of Cups says in a gentler way than the King does, is that I'm the only person I rule within this life, and I'm going to do it well. The Queen of Cups wants to pull other people up, and that's very, very important during this time, to not only see the self and kind of sacrifice everybody else. But it's also saying here, I cannot pull everybody else up if I do not have myself up first and firmly, and my feet firmly planted and my ideas firmly realized. I'm not going off here and just going to kind of like half-ass everything. I'm looking at things and being open and honest and true and connected with myself. And as I do so, I'm walking away from what I once thought I would love. I'm changing the game. I'm finding out that there's a new blueprint that I want to follow. There's new ideas, there's new inspirations. That's why we're having this flow of passion and ideas and what we want and what we desire with the three of wands. Things are coming in, things are going out. We're seeing things really differently. And the Eight of Cups has us being really, really powerfully successful in it. But it's also looking at the passion that we have and the power that we have and the determination that we have, and saying, I'm not being ruled by anybody else. I'm not staying in the old coping mechanisms that I've developed over time that have kept me small, that have kept me timid. Now it is time for me to be brave and to walk away. And to say to the failed relationship, to say to the shattered dream, all right, you might not have worked out at all or the way that I expected, but you don't get to ruin me. Now I'm looking at things differently. I'm moving forward. I have more wisdom. I have more insight. I've been shattered, but I put myself back together. And that gives us a fierceness of countenance. That puts a fierceness behind the eyes of us. And now it is time to look at things with determination and insight and greater compassion, but also a sense of, I've walked through hell. I've faced the hardships and the hurts and the pains. I have not let them destroy me, and I will not let them destroy me. It's claiming back the power, forcefully, purposefully. It brings us to our spirit guide message. Taurus, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, okay, this one. Not these. It's the antelope spirit. Life is speeding up. Things are speeding up. And we are being moved forward more quickly, more determinedly, more insightfully than we even realize. So that's really cool. The subconscious spirit animal message is the rhino spirit. Overcome any obstacles. That's what we're doing. We're overcoming the obstacles set in our way. And because we are overcoming it, we are no longer defined by the hardship of it. We are defined by the triumph of it. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is abundance, the root chakra, at the root of us. is the call for abundance, is the call for more within our lives than we expect. And that's another 8 coming forward. It's a sense of control. It's a sense of greater understanding. But it's also the knowing that there is more out there than what we had settled for. It leads us to our subconscious person message, which is the King of Pentacles. We are becoming kings. We are queens within our hearts. We are queens within this reading, but subconsciously, we are becoming kings. Now, there is also a rigidity to this that we have to be mindful of, but we're seeing things connect more than we did before. We're gaining a greater understanding. We're looking at things in a more powerful, more prosperous, more determined way. We're looking at what we have planted, and we're starting to see a harvest, but we're also really understanding the greater impact of things to us, to others, and how to move forward in wealth and in success without apologizing for it. The subconscious spirit message is clarity. So much that was murky to us is becoming clear. Why? Because we're being forced to face it. This leads us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the 9 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords is the strength that comes when we find our voice over everybody else's, where we see what we desire, what we want, what we trust, over the chaos of the rest of the world. And it's knowing that everybody has their opinion, and that's fine. But we get to walk our path and live our lives. Everybody has a life. And that's what the Queen of Cups says. You know, everybody has a life and has the right to live it as they see fit. But I have a life. Taurus, you have a life. And it is your purpose on this earth to live it as you see fit, without apologizing, without thinking, mucked up too much, and saying, this is my truth. This is what I desire. This is the beauty of me. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace our fire, our passion, and determination. As that becomes the light of our creativity, becomes the torch that leads our way, and becomes the beacon that guides us home, that guides us safely forward. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus.